so as you already know, the upcoming game is Sonic Frontiers, and as these new pieces of information have been coming out, whether it's footage or interviews talking about the game, I've been doing some reconnaissance, whether it's my own comment section, whether it's doing polls on my community post, whether it's looking at the Bird app to see what people are saying about the game, or even other people's videos and comment sections. I've noticed something, and it needs to be talked about, okay? And this is the Sonic Unleashed hypocrisy. I've been letting this shit slide for too long, and I'm frankly tired of just letting it go because it's starting to get really ridiculous now, okay? I know you lot are on that hopium copium, that HC gang, but you lot need to keep it in check. So we're gonna get into all of this right now. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 100,000 subscribers and hopefully 7,000 subscribers before Sonic Frontiers comes out. So what am I talking about? Sonic Frontiers, the Sonic Unleashed hypocrisy, right? I'm talking about how certain Sonic fans, mainly those on the hopium copium, are defending things in Frontiers that was done already in Sonic Unleashed simply because it's an open zone or whatever. Meanwhile, shitting on Unleashed for doing the exact same thing, assuming that the Frontiers version is being done better, even though they've played Unleashed and they haven't played Frontiers. For example, werewolf combat, according to fans, bad. I don't want to be fighting no enemies. I don't want to be a fucking werewolf. Okay, cool. Sonic doing combat in Frontiers? Good, because it's regular Sonic, so that changes everything because it's not a werewolf or whatever you want to call it. That makes it good. Metal collecting in Unleashed, bad. Bogs the pace of the game down, right? Bogs the whole pace down, right? I want to get from level to level. They're making me collect these medals to progress. Hate that. Force collectibles to progress in Frontiers to unlock cyberspace? Good, because it's the upcoming game, sorry. Because it encourages you to explore the open zone to progress and unlock more cyberspace levels. Yeah, so different, so much better than what was already done. Werehog level length in Unleashed? Bad. I want to get to the fun day stages. I don't want to spend 30 minutes in a Werehog level doing things like combat and searching for collectibles. Although you could do it much quicker, but that's not the point. Frontiers being only 1/3 traditional levels, aka boost, and 2/3 open world? Good, because I get to spend more time exploring and doing combat and searching for collectibles to get to the next boost level. And don't even get in the comment section talking about Prem, there's puzzles as well, because I did the poll with thousands of votes and it got 0%. 0% of you voted for puzzles, okay? Thousands of votes. Don't act like that is the thing that's carrying the open zone. It's combat and exploration. That's it. You could say platforming, but we barely saw any of that, but that's a topic for another day. Hope worlds in Unleashed, bad. They waste time from level to level. I just want to get from day stage to day stage, right? Open zone in Frontiers, good. Even though the main goal of the open world, or sorry, the open zone, is combat and finding collectibles through exploring, aka the two things you guys hated about Sonic Unleashed. This reminds me of when Super Mario Odyssey came out to critical acclaim, and it was literally made by a lot of the same people who made Unleashed, but Unleashed somehow got way more flack for it because Sonic isn't allowed to do anything different apparently. And I'm not saying this because I don't like Super Mario Odyssey. In fact, I really enjoyed that game. Not as much as Unleashed personally, but I think it was a great game. And the problem is not whether people like Frontiers more than Unleashed or not. I mean, that's not what I'm trying to talk about here. It's more so, I don't know if people are truly defending this gameplay in Frontiers because they actually think it looks so much better, or because it's the upcoming main Sonic game, so they have to defend it no matter what to convince themselves that 3D Sonic is in an amazing place. But either way, I'm seeing some hypocritical bullshit going on, so I have to call it out. For starters, let's not pretend like Frontiers has combat that has 10 times the depth of Unleashed, as if you could even name 10% of the Unleashed combos on the spot right now. And if you say, well, oh, you could just button mash in Unleashed, guaranteed most games with combat let you do that, if not all of them. But I won't say all because I haven't played every single one, and From Software games obviously exist, but most. But that kind of brute force always results in taking longer to do the same shit as a skilled player, as well as lower ranks if that combat game supports that. Obviously, if the game has difficulty options, there's gonna be higher difficulties that won't let you get away with that because you get hit and die, probably have less hits before you die. But if you play on a normal difficulty or even an easy difficulty, they will let you do that. I've played Devil May Cry, you can button mash in that too. Doesn't mean you should. You ain't gonna get no triple S stylish with that shit. The same way you can brute force through a platformer that has no lives and plenty of checkpoints without truly getting good. Doesn't mean the game has no depth. Just like you can beat Super Mario Odyssey without learning more than the capture ability and maybe the long jump and the wall jump. But pro players will shit on you with cappy throws, wall jumps and dives, taking shortcuts everywhere. You've seen the way the speedrunners play Odyssey. Aside from like glitching through shit, just the way that they maneuver through the environment and the shortcuts they take, you know there's depth in that game whether you play it the basic way or not. Just because getting good is a choice and not mandatory doesn't mean the game has no depth. It means you chose to play at the baseline level and everyone can see it. This is why I miss the tougher ranking systems of the pre-generations games, because it really put a lot of you lot in your place. Guarantee any of you button mashing all the werehog enemies were not S rank in Eggman Land. Guarantee none of you who never learned how the hammer enemies in Heroes worked actually A ranked Final Fortress. If you understood how the enemies worked, you know how to maneuver them the best. But nah, you were sitting there spamming to get a Team Blast, maybe even Team Blast glitching, which still takes longer to do than just defeating them the proper way, assuming your ass didn't die and lose your level ups. Like, you have no evidence to suggest that button mashing won't work in Frontiers. None. I sincerely hope for you guys' sake that Frontiers rankings are tough as fuck. Otherwise, button mashing is going to be more viable than you were saying it was in Unleashed. In fact, I don't even know if the open world combat even has rankings. Isn't it just cyberspace that does? I don't know. Personally, and this is my personal opinion, you don't have to agree, I'm convinced that Frontiers has no chance in even touching Unleashed in terms of quality. Maybe in frame rate, but aside from that, I don't know. Only thing you could argue is that Frontiers has better hub worlds or the open zone or whatever. But I mean, it's fucking better since they're selling as the main focus of the game. But I haven't seen a single cyberspace level that could touch the main acts of Unleashed, except for the ones directly copying the level design of Unleashed and Generations. Most of them are comparable to the side acts at best. The fact that they even have to copy Unleashed and Generations to even get close, 11-year-old game, 14-year-old game, just to get close to that level design. And the open zone is still not showing me enough compelling platforming challenges for me to be like, oh, I'd rather play this or exploring this than some of the really sick platforming that the Werehog had, like the Tower and Rooftop Run Night, climbing that, or even the acrobatic platforming with Skyscraper Scamper Night. And even those little hub world areas right where the level was, not like the regular hub world, but once you get through the little entrance gate, apparently they call that area the entrance stage. Even they had some more interesting platforming challenges than what we've seen so far in the open zone of Frontiers, which has been like rail switch for 3 seconds and then jump into an orange hoop. Unleashed isn't my favorite Sonic game. It's not even my favorite Boost Sonic game. That still goes to Rush. But I just can't stand by and let this Hypocrisy slide. Personally, I'm not even the biggest fan of forced collectathon elements, but I can have fun with it if the means by which I can traverse the environment is fun. That means good control and physics and an environment that takes advantage of that. For example, I'd rather be forced to search for collectibles in Spider-Man PS4 or Remastered than say a Ratchet and Clank PS5, because traversing the world of Spider-Man is just way more fun in my opinion. If you want me to invest in finding collectibles in an open zone, but Sonic's moveset is limited and the platforming is basic, I'm gonna burn out way quicker than I would compared to when I beat Super Mario Odyssey and I was learning those cappy throws and those dives and shit. I mean, I was never on the speedrunner levels, but I definitely wasn't on some basic shit, is all I'm saying. Anyway, the point of this video is just to highlight some of the hypocrisy that was going around the fan base with regards to Sonic Frontiers. I'm not saying people shouldn't be hyped for the game. I'm not saying the game is going to be bad, okay? You can be on that hopium copium all you want, HC gang, but when you start contradicting yourself by shitting on past games that did the same thing just to make this game look better, don't think I'm not gonna call it out, because this shit is getting fucking ridiculous. Learn to keep your hopium copium in check, because if I see you lot complaining about combat or collectathon elements on Frontiers post-release, then I'm not gonna have any sympathy, because you lot were acting like it was doing something crazy different from what's already been done when it is not. And I say this because I remember how everyone was defending Forces before it came out, and then those same people who got mad at me for criticizing the game pre-release were then shitting on the game after it came out. And it's like, I didn't get no apologies for the way you treated me before the release of that game. Well, actually, I did get a few apologies, to be fair. Some people did apologize for the way they treated me because they ended up not liking Forces, but most people just branded me as the negative hater or whatever and just called it a day. Listen, I don't think Frontiers will be bad, okay? I'm looking forward to the combat, not so much the collectathon elements, because again, for me to enjoy collectathon elements, I need to enjoy the level design and the movement, and I'm not sold on the level design. Versus Unleashed, where the collectathon elements were not my favorite part of the game, but I enjoyed the levels enough that I was able to tolerate it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this topic. Do you think there is a Sonic Unleashed hypocrisy going on with people hyping up Sonic Frontiers? Are they giving passes to Frontiers that they didn't give to Unleashed because they've already played Unleashed and decided they didn't like it, versus Frontiers, which is the upcoming game that they haven't played? And of course, a big shout out to all my channel members. If you want to become a channel member, you click the join button next to the subscribe button. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.